Hi, welcome to Ms. Cooper's art class. Today I'm going to show you how I would draw a city using isometric drawing. So here's a small city I did with some gel pens. So the supplies that I used was a piece of scrap mat board that's black, a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, a sumo grip eraser, I love these, and then the Sakura Moonlight pens. These are in some pastel colors, and then I also used a white pen as well. So just using a pencil and my triangle, I line it up with 30 degrees from the bottom of the paper, and I just made a couple pencil lines. These are not measured out at like an even distance from each other or anything. These are just here to give me some guidelines so I can start forming a city. I liked the idea of containing it to a small area, so I just did some things in the middle. I have some sheets next to me with some little sample buildings that I figured would look good. And what I'm doing first is I'm making a small highway to box in that city because I liked the idea of having a boxed in look. So I curved the road at a point approximately in the middle of the page, fairly close to me, added some support pillars and pencil, and then just erased out some of the middle lines. And then it was time to start drawing the city. What I did was I started with the top of a lot of the buildings. I looked at some rectangles that were already present on the grid and used that. So with isometric drawing, you use vertical lines and the diagonal lines. So often I do find it easy to start with one or the other. I either start with the vertical lines, see where they lead, and then fill in a diagonal space that would match up with those, or what I do is use the diagonals to form the top of the building, and then I just drop that down into space with some vertical lines. For a lot of the buildings, I wanted some points at the top. You've noticed I've started drawing those. What's nice about that is you can go off that isometric grid as long as you are connecting the dots. As long as you've pushed a point up into space, you can connect it to those vertical lines. So this isn't meant to be a beginner tutorial exactly. This is just more of a time lapse so you understand how this could go together and how you can fit things into a city block. So if you're looking to see a beginner isometric drawing tutorial, I already have one, and I'll make sure I have that pop up during the video. And then I also do have a tutorial on how to draw rounded surfaces like you'll see at some of the tops of the buildings. So definitely check out my isometric drawing playlist if you would like some tips for a beginner. And so once I had my city all drawn out in pencil, what I did was I took the Moonlight Jelly Roll pens by Sakura and I started going over all of those lines. I wanted my city to be colorful. I'm not going for realism here, just fun. So I tried to spread out the colors as evenly as I could. I tried not to put, a yellow building right next to another yellow building, for example. The yellow and orange do look similar, though, I think, on camera. So I started by outlining everything, and I had to do this very carefully because it takes a sec for these pens to dry on the mat board. It doesn't immediately soak in the pen, so I just had to be really careful not to smear what I was doing. After that, I added decorations into the middles of some of the buildings. Some of them were the same color as the outline, some of them weren't. Just kind of depended what I was feeling in the moment. Just did this based on gut feelings. I did not feel like drawing a lot of windows, so for the most part I gave the buildings stripes instead because that was a lot easier and there's a bit less risk of smearing. After that, I added a little moon just to give it something. I felt like I was missing something at the top. And then I kind of liked some of the pencil lines that were left over, so I used a white pen and went over them. No ruler or anything, kept them a little bit shaky and a little indistinct. This is what it looks like after I cleaned it up with the eraser. So I'm very happy with it, and I'd like to do more in the future. Give this a try. If you want to see more isometric drawing tutorials, definitely subscribe and check out the rest of my channel. Thanks for watching.